Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here and I hope you're all well. And you join me in well, a tank that makes me feel dirty sometimes. This is the T80. The Russian light tank that's more like a heavy tank. It's based off the T70 light tank, which replaced the T60 and T50 infantry support tanks. The T80 is a more advanced version of the T70. With a two-man turret, it was produced in very small numbers, and the production was abandoned. There was a prototype self-propelled anti-aircraft gun in the T90 as well. The T80 is evil. It is an evil little tank, and I love it to death. This thing is probably one of the best light tanks early game. It's probably one of the best tanks early game, non-stop. I would go as far to say this is my favourite tank. We actually bounce, well we don't bounce, we actually penetrate them to do little damage. The AC Mark II there did shoot us, but we bounced the shot. The thing where this tank comes in is it's like a mini Panther or a mini Tiger, or mini IS-6. It is ridiculous. This thing can take a beating and dish one out. It's pretty much impervious from the front. No, I did get hit there. I don't know where I got hit from, actually. I got hit somewhere by something from the back there, and it took out my fuel tank. No fire. I think it was the AMC over there. The AMC, the 35ZT3 there. But no real damage. I'm just going to back up and just hide for a few seconds and just repair that fuel tank. Now, reversing the French and the British here. The British I do worry about slightly because they do have some shells that are capable of penetrating this thing. But generally this is impervious. Now, the weaknesses of this tank's the gun. The 45mm gun is not great. It doesn't have great penetration. But at 2.3 it has got a very good APCR shell. Yeah. You can go through pretty much any tank with this shell. At this BR. If you're up-tiered, you're still fine. The standard shot, not so great. You do bounce a few times off some tanks. But the solid shot, the French tanks are absolutely ruined. This is the way to counter the Sharby 2s, any of the French tanks really, because you will just decimate them. The tank is fast. The turret is slow. That's another weak point because it is a hand-cranked turret. But being that you have a three-man crew, you do have some survivability as well. As I said, I adore this tank. It is just amazing. One of the stories of this tank as well is Alexander Pegov of the 3rd Guards Tank Army. He was commanding a single T-70 and saw a column of approximately 18 German tanks approaching. He took an ambush position, hidden by foliage, and he waited. After a German Panzerkampfwagen 5 Panther tank came with 150 meters, the T-70 suddenly opened fire, using the APCR ammunition, and set fire to one Panther and immobilizing another. The knocked-out Panther blocked the road while the T-70 retreated. Pegov was promoted to a lieutenant and decorated as a hero of the Soviet Union. This thing, as I said, is deadly. It was used up until the end of the war. It was a great little scout tank. And at 2.3, it is just a boss. You will just dominate people with this. So, we got 2 kills. One was on the little P4T AAA vehicle, which isn't really a great kill. It's a bit like getting a free kill with those things. They can't really do much to you. And you can just MG them down. But this tank is just so... oh, it's so dirty but fun. sometimes I'm asked, you know, what is my favourite tank? And in a broad history, this guy played a really good game here, waiting at the side. I didn't spot him when I was driving across. I see him now, of course. Leave him to fire a little bit. Take a quick shot. Just to jam him there. Turns to shoot me, so I decided to take him out. In history, it's a different story. But in game, the T80 is it's just such a fun little tank to play. Now, we've pretty much dominated the map here, and it's now just, you know, Russian spawn camp time. I'm just sort of scouting around. I'm not going to sit in the spawn too much. I'm hoping some people break out and I can go and chase them down. There we go, we spot somebody. We use our scouting ability on them. And there's a 34YR as well. Take a shot, completely miss. Sort of a blind shot here. Now, as you can see, just stopping there, we rock a bit and we miss our secondary shot. Shot comes in from a friendly. Now it's time to give chase. The great thing about this tank is you can give chase too. You heard a sneeze there, that's my housemate coming home. So you can give chase in this tank as well because it has that speed. We take out the AMC 34YR with great ease. Now, the 35 ZT3 is sneaking around there and trying to get into the spawn. We're going to come up behind him and give him a bit of a surprise butt sex, as another YouTuber would say. Does not know we're here. Hello, and goodbye, my friend. That's the end of his day. 5 kills. I'm happy with that. I can live with that. Not a bad little day. Now, I do feel a bit like a seal clubber in this tank, because, well, I kind of am. This tank is designed for seal clubbery. It's just so fun. But if you are researching Russian tanks, if you're looking to start out in ground vehicles and you want a tank to play that is easy to play, that you will learn the basics, that works as a scout, because this is a scout vehicle as well, you can scout out people, this is the tank to use. It gives you all the basics. It's got angled armour, you can position a tank to be pretty much impervious to every other tank in game, you can learn to flank, you can learn to fight head on, you learn the basics of gunnery, you have to learn aiming, because you have to aim your shots sometimes. You will pretty much get everything from this tank. As a tank to start learning tier 2 in, or, you know, building up your experience in, this is the tank to go with. So, excuse me there. So, the game's pretty much finished here. There's one guy, I think there's 1 or 2 guys left, and the one guy that's left is hiding out behind a building in the spawn, so nobody can get at him. He's taken a few pot shots, but, well, let's put an end to this guy. Because his biggest mistake is he shoots at me in a minute. And you don't do that. You don't shoot my T80. You might have scratched the paintwork. So the H35 takes a shot. Now he shoots the side to the back of my tank, as you see here, and we bounce the shot. That is how strong this thing is. The Stalinium armour is ridiculously strong. Now we just take a bit of a blind shot there, because of course in realistic battle there is no markers. Now I didn't see what shot us, so I'm just going to go around with a ballistic cap loaded. The APCR button is ready to be pressed any moment now. Once we find out what's around the corner, we'll see. Now, because I'm in the spawn zone, I'm getting the timer now, because, you know, I've come into their spawn. Now this guy's pretty well hidden here, and nobody can actually get him. So it's an H35. Now I can't penetrate this one from the front. Managed to take out the drive wheel. This is where I load up the APCR. I think. No, I take one more shot. No, that's it. I've loaded up the APCR, sorry. Take the shot and penetrate the front of that Hotchkiss with perfect ease. That's their last tank gone. He spawns in a plane and it's the end of the game. But I die because I was in the spawn zone. Anyway, let's just head back to the hangar quickly. Nothing more happens in that video, by the way. It was pretty boring. And we'll have a little look at the T80. So the T80, as you see here, it's aced by me. It's probably one of my favourite tanks, as I say. Let's just customise it just to take the bushes off. Actually just unlocked the forest camouflage that game. I've played quite a few games in this thing and defeated quite a few players. So I was happy to get a new camouflage unlocked for it. So the T80. Now it's an upgraded version of the T70, which is this one here. Now T70 has slightly less. What's the difference? I think it's the turret armor. Yeah, the turret armor is the main difference. T70 is a good tank to start off with. It has got a smaller turret though. The T80 has it's almost like a mini T34. You just get so comfortable in this. Now from the front, we've got 56 to 60 millimeters of effective armor thickness. Some places there's almost 80 millimeters on this frontal plate. The lower plate is 60. The turret is around about 60 to 100 millimeters of effective armor. It gives you really good armor. Side is 25, but the turret again is 35 all the way around, being a cast turret. So you really do have strength. Now you can angle this tank a little bit, and as you can see, you can almost get, 60 millimeters to 100 millimeters of effective armor thickness. You can really get the effective armor up on this tank, making this tank pretty much impervious to shells. What I do just want to warn about is just the driver section here. So if you are angling, just angle to the right hand side. So keep this side to the enemy, because then this has less chance of being penetrated. When you angle this way, it gives you a bit of a weak spot on this point. The turret, as I said, is just fantastic. You just have so much strength there. It's fast, it's maneuverable, and it's pretty much impervious to anything. Okay guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will catch you next time. This is Screezilla out. Bye bye.